Jordan, welcome to my channel. If you want an in-depth step-by-step of how I achieve this Capricorn rising inspired makeup look, make sure you keep watching, like, comment, and subscribe. So I'm gonna start a new series doing makeup of all the rising signs, starting with Capricorn rising. Everybody obviously has a big three: your sun sign, which is your core identity, your moon sign, which rules over your emotions, and then your rising sign, which is basically just the way you present your mask. People see you for the first time, feel your energy for the first time, and the vibe that they get from you will always be your rising sign. I'm a Capricorn rising, so obviously when people meet me for the first time, they're probably gonna think I'm a Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, so it's all about structure, discipline, routine, work, making money. When you think of a Capricorn, think of standing on business. If you are a Capricorn rising, then 9 times out of 10, people probably think that you're stuck up, you're too serious, they're intimidating. But the identity of a Capricorn and the identity of a Capricorn rising is very much RBF, no BS, nothing. Capricorns judge really, really hard when you don't have shit in order, when you don't have any type of long-term plan, any type of structure, or any type of discipline in your life. It's hard for a Capricorn of any placement to trust you, basically, because those are the core themes. If Capricorn rising is about standing on business, then the kind of makeup look that you want to try to achieve is like that executive bad bitch kind of makeup look, okay? That intimidating makeup, you know, the darker eyes, really, really prominent contour, you know, blush that isn't too pinky, maybe a red lip. Professional, polished, clean eyes, I feel, is what's gonna make the face. Let's get started, bitch. I'm gonna be using the same fucking products every video, but that's just reality though. Like, all this fucking overconsumption and shit, like, there's no reason why I should use a different primer or a different foundation or a different setting spray in every fucking video, unless it's like the little ones that I already got that's for different uses. Bitch, like, I'm not trying to be an overconsumer. And if you're wondering if I'm saying that because I'm just broke, you're low-key right, but we're gonna be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, of course, right in the area where I had hyperpigmentation, ingrown hairs. This is what's gonna flatten out the area to give that smooth matte look. And I only place this here, and I have texture in this area. e.l.f. Poreless Primer, or any poreless primer in general, but the e.l.f. one, especially for affordable options, is so amazing because it truly does flatten down that area and it makes the appearance of texture a little less harsh, I guess. Now we're gonna go in with the color corrector. Sometimes I'd be like, damn, maybe I should just color correct before the fucking video, just because like this part of makeup is like what adds, I feel, like 10 extra minutes onto my routine. Like, if you can just put on foundation and just go, then you're so fucking lucky. Oh shit. Some people don't even be needing foundation for real. That's what I'm really jealous of. A BH Cosmetics brush, and we're just gonna go ahead and buff that into the skin. I don't have shit to fucking do today, and I just feel like my makeup always starts to turn out so good when I don't gotta go nowhere, bro. Like, I'd be so fucking ugly when I gotta go somewhere important, and like, I truly want to know, like, is it because I'm focusing too hard when I'm trying to look good and then I just end up looking like, literally, what the fuck is the psychology behind? Say you want me to. We're setting with the Milani press powder. Yes, I do set my color corrector. Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Foundation in the shade F18 and F16. Y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, I wanna just get real with y'all real quick. So I've basically like kind of been creating content low-key since I was like 9 or 10. Like, ever since I was like younger, like that was like the only thing I've ever wanted to do. Like, if you ask me what I wanted to be when I grow up, I always said a YouTuber. It's so crazy because now I have all the means to do it. And I'm not gonna say I don't have the motivation, but let's just really get into it. Like, I really be feeling goofy sometimes, like doing this content creator shit low-key, especially like doing TikTok and Instagram. I don't be wanting to admit it, just because like when you admit something like that, or when you admit an insecurity to people or whatever, like people try to like really make it worse for you, I guess. You tell somebody that you're insecure about one thing, or that you don't like one thing or whatever, and they're just gonna kind of try to like focus on that. So I don't get here and talk about my feelings a lot, like on the internet in general, but I feel like that's what builds a community. Like, there are people out there that like truly do relate to how I be feeling, and I don't really be taking that into account. And it's almost a little selfish too, because I really feel like, okay, this is gonna be too fucking dark. I've created content in so many different forms. So many. I don't even know where to fucking start. I've had about like 3 different channels. I've had about like, I don't know how many different Instagrams, 4 different TikToks, and I have never been consistent. But sometimes I get in this like little like phase where I'm kind of just like, okay, is it too late to start at this point? Like, there's so many people who have already done this, and they're already, you know, at a point where like they have their community and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I just always had the feeling that it's just too late to really like start being consistent. And it's not. Like, I know it's not. That thought in the back of my mind is like, damn, I'm too fucking late. I should have been, you know, like up. But the reason I get embarrassed about posting certain shit is because sometimes I kind of sit and think like, who the fuck cares? And by that I mean, like, you know, when I post like, you know, just little stupid recipes, just random stuff, I'm like, nobody actually fucking cares about this, because when you think about it, like somebody that's like ultra fucking famous or popular, like of course you care about like the first 3 things that they do in their day, or like you care about like the way that they like to eat a baked potato. But like I'm just like a normal mundane ass person, and it's like, why the fuck would you care like what I do? I don't know. It's so funny because when I watch other people's content, I don't even think that. I'm like, period, I love it. Ooh, y'all, I forgot to put primer on the rest of my fucking face, bro, because I was over here talking. And I remember years and years ago when I was even scared to post to TikTok in the first place, because now I post TikToks, Instagram Reels all the time. I'm posting on YouTube now, and I'm doing it consistently, and I'm getting through like the mental like challenge of like, I guess, you know, comparing myself to other people, and then, you know, getting insecure about certain things or just feeling a certain way. Like, and I feel like now, especially in the timeline that we moved in, and people now see that creating content can get you a lot of fucking money. Creating content can open a lot of doors for you. I mean, people are seeing this shit now, and now everybody is a content creator. You know what I mean? And so now, especially, you know, age of Aquarius, bitch. Now that everybody does it, it's gonna be, you know, who's more authentic, like who's more real, I guess. And so I guess I also feel like an added pressure of like, okay, I need to be an innovator and I need to do something different. A simple makeup tutorial is not gonna fucking cut it, you know? A makeup video on TikTok is not gonna cut it unless it's like a fucking revolutionary look, or I need to be talking about something interesting. I need to be doing more. It's so hard because I'm just like, damn, like, you know, like I do like creating like, you know, the little stuff that I create without putting pressure on myself like that. And then also I gotta take into account that, you know, when you worry about like the results or like how your content does, like it's, you know, obviously not gonna really be good for your self-esteem, I guess, but whatever. And then sometimes I get in those moods where I'm like, damn, I'm goofy as fuck for this shit. Like I be like, you know, what am I doing it for? Like I'll ask myself that, and I always have an answer for it. Like I do this shit for a reason, you know what I mean? Like it's what I've always wanted to do. And plus I feel like creating content is so good for making a personal brand. And I'm sure that a lot of other small creators feel the same way, where it's kind of just like, you just feel goofy as fuck sometimes. And it's like, you keep doing it because you're not gonna let, my thing is like, them type of thoughts in my head are like bullies to me. Like if I let them thoughts like get in the way, then I know I'm a fucking loser. Like there's nobody fucking lamer than like somebody who's like embarrassed to be seen trying, or there's nobody fucking lamer than a person who like doesn't want to follow their dreams because of like what other people think and stuff like that. Therefore, I don't want to be a lame ass bitch. I've already gotten out of that phase. That is pretty much being a people pleaser. Embarrassment is like a people pleaser ass fucking emotion. You're gonna let that get in the way of what you could possibly have. I was talking to my homegirl yesterday about how you need to go for shit because there's always gonna be somebody less talented than you, less knowledgeable than you, who could take your space if you don't actually go for that shit, bro. I'm gonna go deeper into that in my 2026 video, and once I get my Substack up, I'm gonna actually like get into like the spiritual part of that. But yeah, girl, like it's really now or never. Everybody's waking up to that. So if you're not going out and following your dreams right now because you're embarrassed, bitch, you're gonna be left behind. It's not, oh, I'm gonna think about doing it. 2026 is the year to do it, guys. Year 1, it's ruled by fire and air. Hello. The Juvia's Place bronzer in the shade Espresso. So I gotta come over here so I can see. And shit, I don't think I'll need bronzer with how fucking dark this foundation is. I'm not exactly sure what the shade is called. I think it's called... I'm gonna keep that blush placement nice and high. With a blush brush, I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly blend that into the contour that we just did. Wow, this foundation is way too fucking dark. Can't even get over it. So now that we have blended that out, I'm gonna go ahead with a cream blush and go over that. In the About Face blush in the shade Big O. And we're gonna place like a generous amount under the eye, okay? Get that blended real good. The Milani powder now, and we're gonna go ahead and just basically, we color corrected in this area, so we have to set it with powder. This is just a pressed powder before I bake in order to kind of hold that product in place until we bake. I use powders like this, like pressed powder, almost as like a placeholder, I would say. Wow, that was ours. And then if it looks too white, it's okay, because I mean you're just gonna go over it with some foundation powder anyway. That's what I do. Alright, we're gonna take the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Foundation in the shade C10. This is a very light concealer, so I'm gonna just put like a dot right near the inner corner. Dot will do. Anything else is too much glue. Flat concealer brush. And then you're gonna carve a V or like a circle on your nose, depending on how you want it to look. Lately, I've been doing the circle. You are honey. Nice. And taking that product and then dragging it outwards in a triangle sort of shape. And that is what's gonna give your eye that bright inner corner. Oh my God, the amount of hate. Okay, so I don't watch Love Island. I've actually never even seen an episode. I've seen an episode of Love Island Brazil, but that's it. Everybody's talking shit about the way Alondria does her makeup and like the way her under eye is too white. I'm like, who the fuck cares? But every time I do my concealer, like, and put like a white ass concealer, I think of Olandria. She be pretty too. I posted a TikTok that said that, oh, black people trying to make their eyes, like their under eyes more white so they could look more white. I was like, damn, I used to be like that too. Just getting on TikTok just to fucking talk. Talking just to fucking talk on TikTok. Was 2022 the year of the baddie makeup, or was that, yeah, I think it was 2023. Because I distinctly remember, like every year, every time I think back of like how makeup changes and the trends and everything, blah, blah, blah. Like I distinctly remember like how I like started doing my makeup in 2023 and how that just fucking changed completely. Like, it's like with the techniques or whatever, Insta baddie makeup, you know, the UK baddie makeup. Well, that's what we gotta do. I'm gonna follow a tutorial. I'm gonna find a tutorial and do it, because I feel like if I'm gonna do it like, oh yeah, like y'all, I'm gonna do UK makeup, like I'm gonna just do the makeup the way I would do it and just call it UK makeup. Like, no, I want to get a real girl from there, and I want to see like how she do it, exactly how she do it. Y'all, them African girls down there, they could do some makeup shit. Hair too, like what's it called, I want to do a video where I install a wig and like do like a fishy transformation or whatever. The UK girls know how to lay a fucking wig, okay? That middle part, take the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and then just place that under the right under the eye. We're gonna spray the Kimchi Chic loose setting powder. This is the pink powder. I love this powder so much. It's actually my favorite right now, but I fucking love having a little bit of flashback, like to take a picture and like have like the bake showing like in my eyes. I fucking love that. And I love when I see people like that. Like when I see somebody and it's like so obvious that they didn't wipe off the setting powder, I'm like, period. Like, I don't know, I just love it. I think it's so kind. Follow my dreams and stuff. It's not too late. I think I'm actually more prepared than I think I am. I'm just getting nervous and paranoid about like, you know, the responsibility that comes with following my dreams, the discipline that comes with it, you know. And then I have commitment issues at that, so sometimes, you know, I feel like that area kind of gets a little, you know. I'm gonna take a little bit of powder bronzer. It's really just Juvia's Place eyeshadow, y'all. I'm gonna take this Real Techniques blending brush. We're gonna take that same concealer that we used, blend in with tapping motions onto the eye. All right, we're gonna set the eyes real good because these bitches be trying to crease. I'm gonna take the Morphe 3503. I don't even got the top, child. This fucking palette for a long time. We're gonna go in these like reddish, brownish, orangey-ish kind of shades. Kind of get like, you know, a little red tone kind of transition going. Like, do people watch makeup tutorials anymore? Like in-depth makeup tutorials? Well, I feel like people do, but you know, that's another thing, is you gotta make it into something else. Cause these days when it comes to creating content, like back in the day, I think that what we all loved is like everybody was different in their own way. Now everybody tries to create the exact same fucking way, the exact same copy and paste, like down to the editing, the way, like the style. You know, I guess it's really just giving copy and paste, because so many, like I said, so many people have found out that like it's actually fun and cool to make content. So now, you know, everybody is just doing the same thing, and I don't also want to like contribute to that, you know, like doing the same thing. Like, I don't know. I'm about to wipe the bake off from under my eyes because we're about to go in with darker colors. I'm gonna just take this pink blush, this pinky blush, get rid of that powder from underneath. The ColourPop Precious Metals palette, we are gonna go in to the shade My Best Asset and a little bit of the shade Lucky One, and we're gonna put that just straight into the inner corner. This is what's gonna build the beginning of that smoky eye. Take that to the outer corner of the eye as well. Lately, I've been doing my face first. Face down, ass up. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and we're gonna go into the black shade. I know it looks pink, but it's not actually. We're gonna put that really, really tight in the inner corner. Have a little bit of fallout. So just blend that basically into the eye. I just don't like y'all being so close, bro. Like, I feel like y'all just all up in my face. And that's why I can see I got that black eyeshadow on my thing. That's why you need to do your eyes first and don't do your face first, like me, like a stupid ass bitch. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take that same brush that I took those red tones with, and I'm gonna blend out the black and the brown that I've placed on the inner and outer corner. And I like upwards motions. Oh shit! Black liner in the on the waterline. When I put it on, I just close my eye and then rub it in between, and then it gets it perfectly on the waterline. The ColourPop Sonic Bloom palette, and we're gonna go into this shade called Field Trip. It's like this kind of off-white shade. Take it on my finger and then just put it right in the middle to kind of set that concealer that we have there already. Yeah, get it, yeah. And it has a little bit of glitter in it too, so you know it's giving like real cute. Throw on a little bit of mascara. I have the Maybelline Firework mascara. Too much because I don't like the cakey feeling of like the lashes and the lash glue. or the lash glue and the mascara. Damn, I could go out just like this. Damn, I could go out like this, y'all. Love what it looks like without lashes, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm probably not even gonna put on lashes. Like, I'm bald-headed a little bit, you know? Take the Fit Me powder. I don't even use Fit Me foundation no more. A small little kind of like blending brush. I don't even know what you would call it. Take that Fit Me and go in these areas where it's like a little harsh around the nose. Kind of take those lines out slightly. Black lip liner, of course. Okay, so I did end up adding highlighter. And NYX Buttermilk Gloss in the shade cold as fuck out here, so y'all better like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not even fucking playing with y'all. Like, it actually is fucking freezing out there.